What's up guys, Agna here, and today we're going to get into another Vast Jungle release that they've done, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like I said in the little intro, going to be getting into some of the new information, more specifically the information on the ants that they have dropped that will be releasing in the Vast Jungle. But before we get into that, got to get into the usual shenanigans. This video is sponsored by Aptoid. We're using my code EGNATE2. You can get anywhere from 5 to 65% off all in-game purchases. We all love to play this game, and obviously you guys keep on coming around because you like to play the game, and this is a great way for you to save a little bit of money when you're trying to get some of these ants and the massive amount of eggs you're going to need to be able to buy on Vast Jungle to begin with to even get these. It's a great way to save you a little bit of money if you spend on the game. So again, that's Aptoid, and using my code EGNATE2. A full description will be down below in the comments about how you can take advantage of this deal. On top of that, there's going to be a link to my Discord as well as Patreon and all those kind of things. So would love to if you would be willing to help me out by doing so. Speaking of helping out, a surprising 71% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. It really helps me out if you subscribe and hit that like button. It allows me to be able to go higher up in YouTube featured, and allows me to be able to keep making content for you guys that you guys clearly enjoy, and be able to keep on doing this. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you over in the Discord. All right, so let's get right into the insects, or the ants, I'm sorry. All right, well, the first one, of course, they got to go back into using these scientific fucking names. Excuse my French, but this one's the Siphomerix rhinoceros, whatever. It's a ranged carrier. So skill 2 has a chance to deal a certain proportion of damage to 2 random enemy squads, and part of this damage will be converted into true damage. Now that's strong, because true damage basically means that there's no way to be able to counter it, that you can't reduce it by a shield effect or from damage reduction skills or anything like that. So that's going to be a big one, depending how much damage it is. But yeah, anyway, so we'll go on to skill 5. Prepares for 1 round, has a chance to deal a certain proportion of damage to all enemy squads and reduce the received healing effect by a certain proportion for 1 round. With how much they are pushing all these healing skills, I have a feeling that they're going to rework healing, which I know I've said many times on this channel that healing is like basically useless. But I have a feeling that they're going to start making it to where it is useful. So we'll see if they go ahead and make that kind of update, because they sure seem to be pushing this healing and countering healing a lot in these kind of ants. All right. During the battle, the dodge rate of its squad will be increased, and increase the skill damage and control resistance according to the dodge rate of the squad. Now that's kind of big. This does make it kind of a more of a support ant, but some of the ants that they have already showed they're going to be releasing that increases the dodge rate. Plus, you have other existing ants that are already for the carrier. It looks like they're really going to be focused on the fact that they have the higher combat speed, but then also they're introducing this new damage per dodge, and they really seem to be stacking the dodge. So again, this might be another ant that brings carriers back into the light. Would be interesting, and would be kind of nice, because carrier's been needing some love. But we'll go over and we'll look at that other ant to see how it can correspond real quick. Yeah, so if you look at the carpenter ant, all of our squad's dodge rate and normal attack resistance is increased. So yeah, and then you add it with any other ant that has dodge included, or dodge damage. It really could increase the overall damage of your entire squad. So carriers might be making a comeback. We'll see. All right, and then we get into the Guardian, support Guardian, Marinopolis Castinius, whatever. Skill 2 has a chance to deal certain proportional damage to all enemy squads, while all of our squads suffer a certain proportion of damage. Now that's weird. So it's actually an ant that is literally hurting your own team. So that's an interesting skill to have. We'll see how much that damage actually is to be, if it's worth it even having this ant. But let's read on. During the battle, every time all of our Guardian squads receive damage multiple times, a random squad gains a shred effect, immune to the next damage, and deals a certain proportion damage to the attacker. The count will be reset after the effect is released. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, but it also does skill 2 have an effect on that, because you are getting damage from that to be able to, would then be able to proc for the skill 5. If that being the case, then essentially it would be damaged multiple times, so every round it would have a chance to proc, in which case having that damage happening to your own units might actually be of a little bit of use. And then the next skill has a chance to heal multiple random squads and reduce the next skill damage they receive by a certain proportion. So you have the shield effect that you have going on from skill 5, and then in skill 8 you have healing, which again, I have a feeling they're going to make a big change to healing, and then reducing the next skill damage. So you have not only the shield, but then also the reducing skill damage. So that could be pretty big. It could be pretty useful. All right, and then we'll get into the last one, which is Marinopolis Bicolor. In number 2 skill, in number 2, 4, 6, and 8, reduce the damage taken by a squad by a certain proportion, and when a squad takes skill damage, has a chance to heal the squad. Interesting. Again, they're pushing that heal, but this seems more like another support. So 2 support guardians is kind of a weird choice for them to be doing, but we'll see. But again, they just seem to be pushing this healing, so I really feel like there's going to be a big change coming to healing. It has a chance to deal a certain proportion damage to one random enemy squad and confuse it. Normal attack target is random for 1 round. That's weird. So it does damage, and then it has confuse, which basically it sounds like it just makes it target a different ant than what it was going to for its normal attack only. So that's kind of odd. I mean, I guess it could be a counter to like the Dolly Weaver Wise Berserker combo, or even the Ada Weaver Wise Berserker combo, but we'll see. All right, triggered 1 time per round. A defense of all of our squads will increase a certain proportion, and receive healing effect will increase. The effect is stackable and lasts until the end of the battle. Again, they're doing the healing, so they got to be doing some big change to healing very, very soon. Increasing the damage of all our squads, it's always good for guardians. But again, this is more of a support, where, like with the other ant, is also support, so it's kind of weird that we essentially have 2 support guardians while we have a support and then attack shooter, and then a support and then attack carrier. But all in all, it looks like 6 ants. Maybe they'll release more. We'll see, but it looks like we're going to have 6 total ants that release into this vast jungle. So definitely will be interesting to test it out. But anyway, pretty short video, but that about sums it up. If you guys have any requests or anything, make sure to say it down in the comments or in the Discord. I would love to have suggestions as to what you would like me to cover next. And we'll see you in the next one. Eggnay's out.